complex, much too complex, too complex, much too complex.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Justin Murray, and welcome back to the BlackTrack, where I take a look back at all the melanated movies from the past and see how they hold up to modern standards. Today I'm going to be taking a look at A Low-Down Dirty Shame, a 1994 action comedy film directed, starring, and written by Keenen Ivory Wayans. The movie is a mixture of action and comedy, with neither one really taking precedence over the other. It's full of crazy one-liners and action sequences that keep the pace going, so the movie never really gets boring. If I had to describe it as anything, I would describe it as kind of a black 007 that just so happens to have comedy in it, which should come as no surprise since the guy who created it was just coming off the final season of his sketch comedy show In Living Color. The movie also stars Jada Pinkett and Sally Richardson in supporting roles. But how does it hold up to modern scrutiny? Let's BlackTrack and find out. Ooh, we start out with immediate exposition and context clues. Okay, I'm good at this. Alright, you was a cop, bet. You was tight with your squad, okay. You was a decorated officer, alright. Raid ended in 5 deaths. Okay, going downhill, but that's okay. Agent is a murder suspect. Damn, is that you, fam? Yeah, it was you. Hey, wait, your real name is Shane? Your parents need their ass whooped. Oh, cool, you burning them? They probably not important plot points I need to remember later on or anything. We meet up with the character Peaches, who is played by Jada Pinkett. And I think I can speak for most men when I say this is prime Jada Pinkett right here. And it looks like she has a pretty enjoyable job as a hotel maid. Her customer service is garbage though. I mean, I get it. Checkout time was over an hour ago and you got work to do. I have kind of blamed the people though, because they didn't make good use of that clearly visible latch that your boy uses every time he goes to a hotel. Some guys are conducting what seems like nefarious activity in one of the rooms, and oh man, did it just get cold in here? Oh no, there's all those diamonds in that bag. And hey, maybe it's just me, but that doesn't look like a whole lot of money. Or maybe I'm just used to seeing movies with a briefcase full of money and not one that looks like it's been picked over like a cookout plate at a house you never been to before. Hey, I sure hope you dudes locked the... Nah, they didn't. Peaches just walked right in, and before they get the chance to tell her that nah, they straight, they just gonna use the same towels from yesterday, Shane busts out of the cart desperado style and gets the drop on the criminals. So you guys are like a secret agent team. I dig that.
Because you know I've been doing my karate and going to the gun range and all that. I can help you out, you know?
Get your karate kicking gun range ass in the car now.
Damn, Shane, I feel like you could have pulled this one off by yourself if it's like that. I mean, what did she really do besides use her key card to get in all the doors? Shame sets the tone for what you're in for with a bunch of hit or miss one-liners.
Chow Young Fat. You know what that means.
Yeah, you come with an egg roll and miso soup. I just got fired from the post office. I could flip out and kill everybody in this room.
One day, we will meet again.
Next time, bring some breath mints.
How the hell did Peaches get to the lobby so fast? What floor were they on? I feel like I should keep that in mind for later. She informed Shane that some men are coming his way and that he should get the hell out of there. Plus, if they took the route that she took, he only has about 5 seconds left. But Shane is in no hurry, because first he has to subject us to the first of many scenes with slow motion action. Seriously, there's so much slow motion action in this movie that I would be willing to bet that it's about a quarter of the runtime. I missed the 90s, when it didn't matter if it was one of your men or not. If they was in the way, they was gonna get shot. Shane evades the henchman by going downstairs. Okay, noted. You see a sign halfway down that says he's passing the 4th floor. He then gets down to what I assume is the lobby, and Peaches tells him that there'll be a car waiting for him on the side of the building. So I mean, all he has to do is run out the front door and... Hey, dude just jumped from what looks like the very top of the hotel after running down like 7 flights of stairs. Oh, and get a look at that outline. Okay, low down dirty Shane. I think I have an idea of what this is about to be like. Shane, luckily and conveniently, crashes through the roof of the limo that was waiting for him on the side of the building, causing all kinds of damage, but at least he completed the mission, right? Yo, what's up with that funeral limo? Isn't this guy supposed to be rich? I'll tell you who's not rich, and that's Shane, who's pushing this rust bucket across town. Business is definitely down. Plus, with all those bills piling up, he really needed that last job to help pay for all that. All that's left to do is to collect that $10,000 payday for all the hard work you did and nearly dying and all. And oh, the guy decided to deduct the price of the damage to the limo. And it's $5,000? I call BS on that. There's no way that damage was $5,000. That whole limo cost $5,000. That's when he starts telling Peaches that he'll have that money for her once tax time comes around. One of his old cop buddies shows up, and it's Rock. Yeah, I know he has a real name and it's Charles S. Dutton, but he's always gonna be Rock to me because that was one of my favorite TV shows growing up, so deal with it. Rock says he has a new job for him, and it involves all those people that we read about in those newspaper clippings that Shane burned up at the beginning of the movie. Damn, I knew I should have been paying attention to that. Apparently, the raid that they botched was done to take down a big-time criminal named Mendoza. Supposedly, Mendoza was killed in the raid, but nobody bothered to check to see if he was even actually dead. Rock is under the impression that Mendoza is still alive, and wants Shane to track him down with the help of a girl that they once shared named Angela, played by Sally Richardson. I can't help but notice that Rock didn't mention any kind of money for this job. If anything, he attempts to shame him into going through with it.
When's the last time you've been out? When's the last time you had a good time? Hell, when's the last time you had a date?
Shane agrees to take the job and tells Peaches to do some investigating of her own down at the shopping district. Damn girl, didn't I just tell you about to cut my shit off? I'm just now figuring out that he's a private investigator, and I guess that explains why he can walk in and out of police stations and bribe people for evidence. The chief ain't really having it though.
What the fuck are you doing here?
So check it, a black man walks into a Mexican restaurant, right? And it goes about as well as you expect it to. The evidence leads Shane to Luis, Mendoza's right-hand man, who is in no hurry to reveal whether Mendoza is actually still alive or not. That's okay though, because Shane got some more of that slow-motion black potion for that ass. All of a sudden, he's in a kung fu movie now? Did this movie just switch genres on me? After that one-sided beatdown, we get ourselves a Mexican standoff, because they enter and because. But everybody agrees to keep the peace, and Shane retreats to his hideout. But before he could even get in the dough, man, I love the mood lighting for this ass whooping. Mendoza then blows his cover to send a message to Shane. It really doesn't look like he changed his face to me. It looks like he just cut his beard off. Shane doesn't feel safe at his place, so he heads on over to Peach's house. Think I've used that trick a time or two myself.
Better be Egg McMahon with a lot of money or sis on.
How do you not know who that is? The entire audience can see Shane through that shade. Peaches is all into him. All into him. But Shane keeps coming up with stupid excuses for why they can't make something happen.
Who's the greatest heavyweight of all times?
Tyson.
You telling me Mike Tyson could beat Muhammad Ali?
That's right.
See, now that's what I'm talking about.
Negro, what? Oh, and it goes on from there. Shane continues to throw some of the worst curves I've ever seen in my life. And during sundress season at that. But like Ella May says on Shot Clock, you got about 24 seconds and it's all over for you. Since Shane doesn't want to share her bed for some ridiculous and unknown reason, she agrees to let him sleep in her roommate's bed. Not before giving him one last look of what he's missing out on before bedtime though. Jesus is Lord. Alright, so wait. You didn't want anything to do with Peaches, but you're willing to rub up on this complete stranger without even knowing what the hell she looks like?
Hey girl, I hope you don't mind me being here, but Peaches said it would be okay if I crashed in your room tonight.
No, honey. Ain't nothing like coming with a warm man in the bed.
Good old-fashioned 90s homophobia. This scene is funny for several reasons. The first being that, that's a man, baby. The second is the fact that he sleeps with his gun so close to him that he was ready to pull it on anybody. He even pulls one on Peaches. The third thing is these hilarious nighttime outfits that are on the wall. Honestly, for me, the roommate Wayman steals the show. Dude is funny in every scene he's in and nearly everything that comes out of his mouth. It helps the dude is a stand-up comedian and got this job after being discovered on Def Comedy Jam. It was originally written for RuPaul, but I don't think it would have been nearly as memorable. Tragically, he passed away from AIDS before the movie was even released. Peaches is reading a newspaper that provides a little bit of foreshadowing.
It says in here that if you sing James Brown songs, dogs will not attack.
Keep that in mind for later. They do a bit more investigating and find out that Angela only likes a certain type of perfume. They come up with a plan to trick her into thinking that they have some in stock, only to follow her once she gets there. Hey, you and that lady kind of look alike, Shane. Almost like she could be your sister. Slow-mo shots, baby. The plan works, and Shane starts telling her all around town, dude, who are you, Michael Myers? What is this, a horror movie now? He follows her to a spa, and she gives him the slip somehow, which makes no sense because he should just be able to just wait till she comes back out the front door. Instead, he gets Wayman to help track her down, since he's an employee and it's a female-only spa. Don't think too hard on that. I think it doesn't make sense because this scene only exists to set up one of the funniest scenes in the movie.
Wayman! Hey, Bernard!
Marvin! Who's this?
This is Bernard, and what's wrong with you?
Oh, Wrecker! He's with me!
He's lying. Don't believe him, Bernard. Don't believe him.
Oh, you did not say that last night when we was in bed together, girl.
You slept with him. You slut. Bernard.
Finally finds the hotel that she's staying at and forces his way into her room on some real Halloween type stuff. Shane thinks he's got this case in the bag, but realizes something isn't right after he tells Angela that he's going to put her in protective custody, and she says,
I've been under protective custody for the last 6 months. Shit, I would have testified against Mendoza a long time ago, except somebody tipped him off.
uh-oh. Shane realizes it's a setup and steals a couple of conveniently placed wigs so that they could conceal themselves and get away. Whew, good thing he didn't have to jump out another window this time. The jig is almost up immediately, and then a car chase scene ensues. Man, these wigs really help hide the fact that we stunt doubles. Louise gives chase, but he really can't catch a break when it comes to Shane. Shane thinks it's a good idea to leave Angela at Peach's house. And I'm here to tell him that that is the dumbest idea that he's had in this entire movie. And I'm proven right because there's immediate friction between the two. Oh man, Rock, you working for the bad guys? Oh man, from here on out, you're not even Rock anymore. You're Charles S. Dutton. I'm not even going to call you by your movie name. Shane is finally ready to take on Mendoza, and what are you, Shaft now? What is this, a blaxploitation film now? And where did you get this fancy new car? Aren't you supposed to be behind on bills and broke? Oh, so you one of them dudes who hold out on money and say you broke, huh? But you're not broke. I see the ladies are getting along tremendously in the meantime.
Hey, you know what? There ain't nothing to it but to do it. You know what I'm saying? All we gotta do is push this to the side. It's nothing but space and opportunity here. You know what I'm saying? Do you want some of it?
Shane tracks down Luis again, who just can't seem to get away from him, and convinces him to give up Mendoza's location by setting a bunch of skinheads loose on him. I kinda had a border wall joke here, but yeah, I'm not touching that. Tracks down Mendoza at a nightclub, and look who else is there. Damn, women is everywhere in this town. Mendoza has the worst bodyguards in the world. Shane just walks right up on him. Why pat him down? He could have shot your boy 3 times by now. It reminisces about old times until everybody starts pulling their gun on the low. Wayman then recognizes Shane, and that's all the opening Mendoza needed.
What? Shame. Somebody call a doctor. Calm down. Calm down. Wayman, you're fine. It's not blood. It's just wine.
And the nominees for Best Actress in a Groovy Nightclub Drama, Miss Wayman Harrington.
No, seriously, give this dude an Oscar. Shane shows back up at Peach's house to check on Angela, but she done got the hell out of there after her little cat fight with Peaches. Oh, the chief is there too for some unknown reason because he has no bearing on this plot. Shane somehow knows exactly where Angela is going and finds her at this storage facility. Ooh, somebody been keeping secrets, I see. So this is why all the bad guys want to know where Angela is. She's the only one that knows where all the dead presidents are, literally and figuratively. Charles S. Dutton then really shows his villainous side as he goes to protective custody where they're hiding Peaches and kills all the cops in there. You mother... I gotta say, it would have been nice of Shane to clue the chief in that Charles S. Dutton was working for the bad guys, because there's a very good chance that he would know that's when you guys were taking Peaches. Peaches leads Charles on a pretty hilarious chase, and at this point it basically becomes slapstick.
Bash your fucking head. What you gonna do with that, huh?
Shane sure made sure Angela got put up somewhere safe. I guess we know what his priorities are. We then get a little bit more exposition as we find out that Angela stole the money from Mendoza and then sold him out so that she could get rid of him and keep it for herself. Damn, Shane, you kind of a poor judge of character on the low. He don't care, he already got the room and it ain't gonna pay for itself, baby. Mendoza comes through with the block action though and lays a little guilt trip on Shane.
Hello, Shane. I hope I'm not interrupting anything. You know, you should take better care of your women. You turn your back, and they might fall into the hands of another man.
Hey, he's got a good point though. Clearly Shane thought so too because he's ready to go on a rescue mission. Shane is just one man, but they break out the SWAT team for him. They agree to swap the women and Shane pulls off a Looney Tunes level trick that I can't believe almost halfway works. The movie then changes genres again and turns into Rambo First Blood, with all-out action and all types of handmade weaponry that defy the laws of physics. It's highlighted by this crazy but impressive bungee cord explosion. Remember that news article from earlier that I told you to keep in mind for later? Well, Shane is sure glad he did that because it keeps his ass from getting bitten off by these dogs that start chasing him.
Baby. What's that? I got it. Ow! Baby!
Damn, it's a good thing he's a James Brown fan because if I had to remember these lyrics under pressure, I'd be good as 8. Hey, side note, remember when Rottweilers were like the king of the neighborhood and the dogs to be afraid of until pit bulls stole their crown? Damn, Louise can't catch a break. Charles S. Dutton finds Angela trying to run off with the money, but he isn't prepared for her vile sorcery and wants to find out what all the hype is about. Yeah, girl, I wanted you ever since I saw you in Posse. Unlike most horny dudes in movies, he's not really falling for it. It's too late now, you already done let your guard down, buddy. See ya, Charles S. Dutton. Mendoza and Shane finally meet up for their final showdown, and Mendoza is kind of giving him the business. I'm a little shocked by that, given all the different fighting disciplines that Shane has displayed throughout the movie. The fight is a little anticlimactic on the low once Shane gets the upper hand. I kind of expected it to go a little longer. Maybe I'm asking for too much. Angela reveals her true intentions, and maybe her and Peaches can deliver what the men didn't, right? Nah, it's over in 20 seconds. With Mendoza dead and Angela unconscious, this thing is finally over. And oh, hey, Luis survived. He finally did catch a break in this movie. He's going to jail now, but at least he's alive. In the end, Peaches and Shane finally realize their love for each other. Or I should say Shane finally realizes that Peaches loves his stupid ass. A Lowdown Dirty Shame grossed about $30 million on a $9 million budget, which makes it a financial success. Critically, it's a different story, however. Critics struggle with whether to judge it as an action movie or as a comedy. It currently holds a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, good lord. Here at the BlackTrack, I grade every movie on an A through F scale, with F being the absolute worst and A+ being the absolute best. If I had to grade a Lowdown Dirty Shame by modern standards, I would say it was a C+. It's not a terrible movie by any stretch, but it does struggle to find a balance between the action and the comedy, and as a result it comes across as parody, which it definitely wasn't trying to be. Thank you guys for tuning in this week. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and make sure you join me next time as we BlackTrack on another movie. Right on.